being here. Ensuring the safety of my constituents has always continued to be the top priority as a member of Congress, and I hope that your testimony today we can come to a greater understanding of the vital role that bioengineering plays in our food supply and the economy. Mr. Landa, thank you for taking your time to be here, and like our colleagues, we appreciate your 30 years of service to the FDA. I find this issue, as heated as it is, often leads to passionate claims. I hope your years of experience at the FDA can shed some light on the science of genetically modified organisms and the safety process behind their approval. How many new plants are reviewed by the FDA each year, and how much time does it take to conduct those reviews?
We'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
The number of completed reviews is about now, I think, 103. I think in 5 cases, submissions were withdrawn or people asked us to cease the review, but I can't. We'll have to get back to you on
okay.
yearly figures and average times.
Okay. Do you believe changing from the voluntary reviews to mandatory reviews would change the number of reviews performed by the FDA each year?
I don't know, but I don't see why it would.
Okay. The coordinated framework was developed by the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy to leverage the regulatory safety expertise present in the federal government agencies like the FDA. In the 30 years that the agency has been part of this, are you satisfied that your agency is capable of understanding genetic engineering and determining whether or not a plant is safe?
Yes.
Do you feel the FDA has the staff and capabilities to be the voice of authority when it comes to GMO safety?
In connection with foods in my center, yes.
Food safety. Do you feel that the coordinated framework requires adequate safeguards for consumer health and safety and gives companies the regulatory certainty they need to develop new products?
Yes.
Has a GMO plant been deemed unsafe in the past voluntary review process?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Has a GMO plant been deemed unsafe in the past voluntary review processes?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Was a safety issue due, if it was, if it hasn't been, but is it due to the genetic engineering, or is it other factors that you look for when you're inspecting?
Again, I'm not aware of any consultation that has resulted in a finding of lack of safety. We have, the ones we have completed, we obviously have concluded we don't have any questions. There were a handful that did not go to completion. They were either withdrawn or we were asked to stop the review, and I simply don't know the details of sort of the reasons. But for the,
what happens when you're asked to stop the review?
We stop the review and the products do not go to market.
Okay. So by just stopping the review, they don't go to market. Okay. So effectively, you're doing what a regulator is supposed to do. Was the framework rooted in congressional enactments like the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, Federal Meat Inspection Act, the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act? And do you feel that these statutes all, to some extent, preempt state requirements?
It varies enormously across statutes. I simply can't answer that question.
And have each of these statutes, including the one from 1906, been instrumental in consumer protection?
I can speak to the Food and Drug Act. I think the answer to the question is yes. It dates from 06, was amended in 38, multiple times since then. I think in order to protect and promote the public health.
Do you have any suggestions on how we might look at some of these acts and make your job more effective? And you can get back to us if you want, because I know, but because that's our job. Is if you don't have the tools.
We're certainly happy to provide technical assistance whenever you ask us to do that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield back my time.
Chair.